Yeah.
right? So as also Rafa said something about, there are pastors who, what they do to the women members of their church when they try to sleep with them, or they sleep with them, is that they use a psychological condition, right? So if a pastor is sleeping with a woman in his church, he will say to her, "I come in you in the name of Jesus Christ." Okay? So now that woman, now he goes back to that woman the next time, sleeps with her, and that woman will associate him having sex with her and doing that act, associate that with Jesus. So religious organizations use coercive persuasion programs, languages, right, or thought reform uh, tactics, right, and method on their members, because they know that indoctrination with religious belief is a very powerful control mechanism. They know that because they themselves, when they go to seminary school, they know the true history of the religion. Right? It was created for a political purpose and to control people, right? And they know this, but they're not going to tell their congregation that
Nope.
because they'll get kicked out of church
And it doesn't
for
benefit
telling
the
the truth. And it
organization.
doesn't benefit the church exactly. It doesn't benefit the church, so that's what they'll do. But you know, for me, when it's fine people have religious beliefs, it's not fine when they use those beliefs to deny somebody their right to kill people in the name of that religious belief. You know what I'm saying? And then, turn around and tell that those individuals are the surviving people who they've destroyed their tribe, they destroyed their people, and say, God loves you, Jesus loves you. After you just murdered and killed, pillaged them, raped their women. You know what I'm saying? So now you create a personality within those people that it is okay to accept the abuse in the name of God. You know what I'm saying? And remember I tell you that, especially with the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
if you read the Bible, Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me. Okay?
Yeah.
Their interpretation of that is that children should suffer to be brought onto Jesus Christ. Okay?
It's crazy.
When they're raping these little boys, they're molesting these little boys. Okay? That is what is going on in their mind.
Yep.
Okay?
It makes
That
sense.
is what's going on in their mind. And then on top of that, if that child feels a certain way, then what they do is that they turn it on the child and say, hey, this is your fault. You sinned against God. And the children don't sin against God. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they use, because they use sin as a form of control. Right?
Right.
So again, what they're selling, right? They're not selling salvation. When you really look at it, they are not selling you salvation. Okay? They're selling you fear. Right? If you don't pay your tithes, you can't come to church. You're going against the word of God. Right? This is what they do. If you ask questions, then they say, well, that's the devil speaking.
Yep.
Because they don't want you to ask questions. They don't want you to speak out against anything the church is doing. And if you do, they destroy your life. People that come forward, Sinead O'Connor, which is in the 90s, when she said the Catholic Church.
Man, when she ripped up the Pope's
that they were
picture
molesting
on Saturday Night
people
Live.
because she was molested herself.
Right.
Right?
I remember
they
that,
destroyed
man.
her career.
Yep.
Right?
They completely dismantled her career.
And then what happened? You find out within the past couple of years, right? In Ireland, they murdered hundreds of children.
Wow.
They had mass graves, right, discovered of children in these orphanage run by the Catholic Church. Same thing in Australia.
Wow.
Right? In Australia, they murdered thousands of Aboriginals. Right? This is the Catholic Church now.
Right.
Okay? So, when people want to act shocked, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you see this, every day you walk out of your house, you see a person beating up another person. Right? And now because somebody else saw it and is outraged by it, all of a sudden now you want to become outraged by it. that's what's happening here. The cognitive dissonance and the fact that they just want to ignore because it doesn't affect them.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, you know, a lot of people in this society have this selfishness mentality.
Right.
Because if it doesn't affect me, then I'm not worried about it.
Until it hits that back door,
But not understanding that eventually
it's gonna land in their backyard.
Because the more you ignore things, is the more that you're giving the people who do
Power.
You know what I'm saying? More power
Over you.
and the ability to do it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So when white people ignore the fact that black people get murders every day, and then all of a sudden, like you had this one guy, he was a very staunch supporter of the police, right? He got on social media and said, you know, look, all these black people complaining about that, respect the police and whatever, right? Until the day he met the wrong cop. And he had a little pocket knife. And the cop assaulted him, right? Took his pocket knife from him, right? Threw his ass in jail. And now all of a sudden, he wants to start speaking out against the police.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, it shows you that when you accept atrocity that's being done in a society, like what's happening with us as TIs,
Right.
right? And we tell people about it, just want to ignore it, they don't want to believe us. And I've had someone tell me that I don't believe you, you know, because you keep saying I'm talking to you, but I'm not doing nothing, right? So they're like, well, I don't believe you because I know I'm not doing nothing. Well, you're saying you're not doing nothing, but you're still doing it. And if you were to say that you care about a person, and they say, hey, this when you do this is bothering me. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
you don't take the time to say, you know what? Let me sit down with this person to see what it is that I'm doing that make this person feel this way. You know what I'm saying?
That right
Instead
there.
of saying, I don't believe you. It's like, you know, when a person, like when a woman is raped,
Right.
and she comes to you and she says, hey, I mean, right, you was raped, and you don't believe her, even though she's telling you, she's showing you, and you can see the traumatic effect that it has on her, right?
Right.
And you turn around and tell her, okay, I don't believe you. You know who do that? People, particularly men who are misogynistic, who they feel it's okay for them to abuse a woman, right? Because if they're doing it and somebody else is doing it, they can't talk about it because they're doing it too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
So, yeah. So people say, hey, you know, we don't believe you, people as TIs, what have you. We're like, okay. You know, even though we're showing them proof, they still don't want to see it because of the cognitive dissonance. It's either one because they're part of it or they've been programmed to target the TI. You know what I'm saying? And me being the person who has been a TI for so many years, right? I'm never going to tell anyone I don't believe them when they say something. Because I know better. And, you know, you would think most people would know better too because of the history of the United States in terms of human experimentation, not human experimentation.
You would think that they would.
That people would be more open-minded to listen as opposed to just outright reject the notion of what you're talking about. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You gotta think about that. Why is that? You know?
By design.
Why is that? Right? Conditioning. Psychological conditioning of the people.
Coercive persuasion.
Constructive persuasion. Okay, doc psychology, doc NLP, to condition the people to not engage in certain topics. Okay? To not engage in certain topics. It's like you have these Bible thumpers and you're like, okay, well, you know, they want to tell you about Jesus. I'll sit down and I'll listen. I know the Bible.
Right.
But the minute I start talking about Kemet, right, and the African spirituality that predates their Christian belief system, they don't want to talk about it anymore.
Nah.
They'll pack up their Bible and they'll leave. But yet they want you to sit down and listen to what they have to say.
Yep.
But they never want to listen to what you have to say.
Nah.
Indoctrination and mind control.
Yep.
Okay?
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, bro.
Well said, man. All right, y'all. This is RTTI in New York City, and Nigel Nicholson coming to you from a piece of Ria somewhere down by downtown Brooklyn. And you know, we just chilling, enjoying the day. There's perps around us, but it's not as heavy. Believe it or not, it's not as heavy as him and I anticipated, which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And as you can hear, we're having a great time. We're conversing. We're sharing knowledge, information, things of that nature. All right, y'all. This is RTTI in New York City, signing out for the next one.